Today on Wrench Every Day, we're going to make my Focus ST even more aggressive in the corners. What's going on, guys? It's Andrew from Wrench Every Day. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Consider subscribing. Now, today we're working on my 2014 Ford Focus ST. I have done a few handling mods to this car before. You can see that in the video linked up here. But today we're going to further the car down the path of apex destruction, corner gremlin-ness. I'm just sharpening up how it drives. I want it to drive really good. Now, to get this car handling the way that I want, I went back to TB Performance, Mr. Daniel Check over in California, and I will be installing 3 more of his products on the car today. This is a brake master cylinder brace. This is a mid-chassis brace, and that is a strut tower bar. All of these parts are either made by hand or milled from a CNC machine, so the fitment, the finish is guaranteed to be on point. All of the parts I'm using today are going to be available right now at tbperformance.com. Now, Daniel doesn't just deal with Focus STs. He works with a plethora of other platforms. So head over to the website, see if he makes parts for your car, and if he does, well, you're blessed. Now, since the car is on the lift, I'm going to go ahead and throw it up in the air and do the easiest install, the most straightforward, which is going to be that mid brace there. So let's go ahead and get to work. All right, so I love this install because it is a very simple remove and replace. You can see where it goes in, just 2 T40 Torx bolts, and we're good to go. That ain't going nowhere. Oh boy, job well done. Thanks for watching. Just kidding. I gotta take this thing off the lift. Okay, now it's time to install the strut tower brace and the brake master cylinder brace. Let's get to it. So to remove this top cowl and the bottom cowl, first we're going to need to remove these 2 T30s, 1 on each side, 1 grill on each side, and then 4 clips and the weather stripping. All it took was 1 screw on each side to remove this cowl. Now you can see that this cowl was actually just used to hold the sound symposer in place. That was the little machine that piped in intake noise into the cabin. I deleted that as soon as I got the car, so I don't need this piece anymore. Now all I have to do is remove the 3 bolts on top of the strut and the bolt at the bottom of the wiper motor, and then the factory strut bar comes right out.
Last but not least are these 2 bolts that I totally forgot to mention that are right behind the intake tube, and son of a bitch.
So as you can see, this flimsy piece of stamped steel, not gonna do a whole lot in terms of increasing chassis rigidity or, dialing in the handling of this car, which is kind of a shame. I'm actually a little disappointed in Ford for making this the factory strut bar. So we're going to instead replace it with a nice, beefy TB Performance strut bar.
Before I install the strut bar, I'm going to take the battery and battery box out of the engine bay so I can gain easy access to the brake master cylinder and install the new brace.
Okay, so we had a bit of a debacle removing this battery box. The bolts are really rusted. I can't get anything on them or anything around them to get them out, so we had to do the fidget route, and big thanks to big thanks to that guy for helping me on that part. We had to finagle the brace back there, but we got it. There's a 13 mil bolt right there. You got to take that off, slide the bracket onto the stud, and then there are 2 holes in this little flange underneath that those bolts go through. So make them nice and tight. Get your braking under wraps, get your brakes.
Did you explain to people how that works?
It holds the brake cylinder in place so that you have better and more consistent pedal feel.
Are you hot?
I mean, am I? As I mentioned before, this lower cowl is not going back in the car. So instead of the strut bar, we're putting on these ends, the 3 bolts on the top. There's a nut that goes on the back of that bolt on the washer motor. They go on both sides, and now we're gonna throw the strut bar on, and I'll show you how to kind of get that dialed in and adjust it.
Each end of the strut bar has an adjustable heim joint, one of which is reverse threaded. This allows you to adjust the tension of the bar once it's mounted on the strut plates. Then just use the lock nuts to keep everything in place, and you're done.
So I'm gonna have a little fun. I'm gonna go to my favorite little road in Mexico. Before I get started, I can already tell you that cowl had some sound deadening material on it. And without it, you get so much more intake noise. And it's just fantastic. I love it. It sounds so good. Oh man. And I thought the torque gusset made a big difference. You can really tell the difference with this strut bar, going from that wafer thin stamped steel, basically scrap metal, to something that's big, beefy, stiff. It's just what I needed in my life. We're coming up on a straightaway. That'll be a very good time for me to test the brakes. Want to see how much more responsive, even in just like regular driving, I can tell a difference. So I can only imagine how much better it will feel at speed. Here we go. Whoa. Whoa. Man, it's so much more usable. It's more predictable. Holy smokes. All right, here we go. Little sand on the road. It's fine. Upsy daisy. Good Lord. Yes, this is exactly what this car needs. Oh. It's so much more planted and controllable. There's just a lot more grip. That brake brace really coming into its own there. It really comes in handy now. Wow. Okay, if you have an ST, first mod has to be that strut bar. Just incredible. And these brakes. I feel like I have new brakes. I feel like I have different brakes on this car. Good night. This is unreal. Oh my gosh. I gotta turn around. I gotta do it again. I gotta go back. I have to do it again. I feel like a little kid. I feel like a little kid right now. And this is my new toy. All right, let's turn around and do that again. Oh my gosh, these brakes are just a million times better. Everything on this car, all the TB Performance products that I'm using are all working in tandem right now. And I'm putting it all down to the ground through those Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, and this is just, this car is too nice for me. This car is way too nice for me. Like, this doesn't even feel like my car anymore. Just that simple strut bar changed everything. Oh my gosh. I can carry so much speed through these corners. My exit speed is just immense, just incredible now. That is unreal. Wow. Okay, if you have a Focus ST, don't even buy a first tank of gas. Skip the gas, go for the strut bar. You'll thank me. Holy smokes. Okay, this is changing the car. We're getting there. We're getting to where I want it to be. I think that next up is going to be something major for the suspension. So stay tuned for that. I can't imagine the difference that more parts will make. I mean, you can see it on my face. I'm smiling like an idiot. This is so much fun. This is so good. So I want to give a massive thank you to Daniel Check over at TB Performance. Again, go to his website, tbperformance.com. See if he makes parts for your car. These are all mods you can do yourself at home with basic hand tools, and the results are drastic. I've got some more things coming up in the next few days, so definitely stay tuned. Hold on, I gotta rip I gotta rip this chicane here. Oh yes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Throw the video a like. Down in the comments below, give me some ideas. Where else should I go with this car? What other mods do you want to see? And as always, wrench every day.